that Christian mentioned.
So deduplication is a huge science. You as a business analyst will walk into the office and decide how much deduplication is required for these particular kind of records. For account records, there will be a different deduplication strategy. For contract records, there will be a different deduplication strategy. First point of analysis will be how much deduplication is required because of the nature of the business. As we talked, SSN office, let's say they are using Civil and they want to maintain a database of all the individuals in this country. They just cannot afford to have duplicates. I mean, it's a big, huge no. As we said, the country might go down if they have, the social security is going down. His office is not working properly. So they cannot afford to have duplicates because they have to assign a unique SSN to everybody. Whereas Walmart.com, which is a retail site, they can enter duplicate records. They don't care about the duplication. They say, okay, same guy comes, we don't want to know whether he's the same guy or the old guy. Just enter his credit card number, let him buy the stuff and let him go. So you will basically it's a strategy. First, it's a huge strategy. Like what kind of deduplication should be present in the system in this particular system for like let's say for a CRM system it could be different. It could be different for employee application. It would be different for finance application. So you have to decide all that. That's one. So after deduplication strategy, you have to kind of come out with the deduplication rules for each and every thing. So while deciding on deduplication rules, first of all, you have to make sure that data will be entered by the user. If it has not even been entered by the user, then how can system take care of the duplicates by looking at that data? Right? So SSN, for example, is a very good candidate. You can ask you can make sure that the user enters that SSN, but then you have to do the analysis to see at the time of entry of the contact record, would the SSN be available? So this analysis will be done by you guys. Then let's say you realize, okay, SSN probably cannot be used because SSN is not even cannot be even asked as part of our business. For example, AT&T, if AT&T is using Civil, they can ask for SSN. They do have SSN because this is a part of the buying process. But if Walmart is doing business, they can ask SSN, right? Whereas if the Social Security office is using, can they ask for SSN? No, they allocate SSN to the people, so they cannot ask too. But they ask for passport number and all that. They ask for many other things, visa number, and there are many ways of determining this is a person unique record. They have the right to ask so much information, and they can easily find out whether this person is already present in the system or not. And they won't allocate a new SSN to that guy. The point is, you need to look at that at the data entry point. At the time of data entry, would that information be available as part of the process? Right? And let's say you come out with a rule that last name, first name is the only choice. Then you have to really be creative because this is again part of your analysis. Because same person, two people with the same name could also exist. So if you say, okay, Mike Adler should not be entered, last name, first name should not be entered again, then you are defeating the real world scenario when two people would have the same name. There could be two people who have the same name, last name as well as first name, as well as middle initial, as well as the same zip code, as well as the same address. You cannot you might come out with a rule, okay, last name, first name, address should not be same. In this country, millions of people have that. क्योंकि दादा और पोते का नाम एक ही नाम रखते हैं लोग तो सीनियर जूनियर का डिफरेंस रह जाता है बस माइक एडलर जूनियर माइक एडलर सीनियर एड्रेस इज ये सब जो भी है so this country is all about like even this address and last name first name combination cannot be unique in this country. And what if and then there is another scenario which can happen in India where this combination is not right, like last name first name is typically and the address will be unique, but then if there is a person who is in Ganpati Ram and he lives in one Kedarnath place in New Delhi, he leaves and then Ganpati Ram comes. So Ganpati Ram comes, I want to buy AT&T service, so or I want to buy Airtel service. Airtel rep says you cannot buy, you already have it. That why? Because he said your last name is same, first name is same, and you're at one Kedarnath place in New Delhi. So he said the previous guy, that was previous guy. So he said no, we cannot enter it. Forget it. We cannot enter it. We cannot create a unique record for you. In this scenario, you cannot even implement it in India, where typically last name, first name, address combination is supposed to be unique. Are there any scenarios where a person could move into the same place where same guy, like person with the same name was living? Right? It's very common scenario. In India, it is possible. It's possible. So you, as a business analyst, have to analyze the real world situation and think what all is possible, and whether you should put these rules in the system or not. So out of the box, SQL has no deduplication rules. Actually, you can enter the exact same record. You can copy the record and you can keep it like that. So out of the box, SQL has no deduplication rules. Basically, they sell deduplication services. So that's why they don't put the rules here. Yeah. So they're smart people, right? Oh yeah, very smart people. They don't put all these rules here. So that's a huge way of making money. So there are other ways, like you should know certain other ways, like database, DNB integration, SSN, Office integration for account deduplication. Typically, account deduplication is more important. And accounts have, in this country, accounts always have a unique name. Companies always have a unique name. Account means company, right? Companies always have a unique name. But then the issue is that whether rep will be recognizing that or not. Let's say customer calls and he says, my name is I'm from IBM. My actual name is IBM Inc. Dot. Rep enters IBM. Again, someone from IBM calls. He says, my name is Mike Smith. I'm calling from IBM. So second rep is, let's say, smarter. He'll say, okay, what is the exact name? IBM Inc. Dot. So he will enter a new record with IBM Inc. Dot, which is the exact name. Third person is again dumb. He will enter a new record I.V.M. Inc. Dot. Right? So 3 records exist for the same company, which is not a good idea. Right? So there should be deduplication rules created by you guys to contain this kind of scenarios. These kind of things should not happen. And you have to be very creative. Trust me. You will realize at the end of all this course that DA's job is very hard and developer job is very easy. Just एक मैं इसका एक छोटा सा आंसर दे देता हूँ. I'll try to give an answer to this thing. Let's say, so like in SQL there is a thing called a synonym. This is an out of the box thing. Even if had it not been out of the box, you could create one. That's not a big deal. So as I said, SQL is configured a lot by people. You could have asked the developer to create this thing. That's okay. But what is the use of this thing? Use is, if IBM is entered by a rep and he feels there are other potential names, then he can enter it here. Then the next rep, after 1 year, someone calls from the same company and the next rep is handling the call, and he can say, okay, you know what, can you tell me the name? Instead of searching in the name field, rep should be trained to search in the synonym field. But then again, it is not a foolproof method. It's going to only reduce the number of duplicates. Because how many synonyms will you recognize of IBM? Small I, small b, small m, INC dot, capital I, capital B, small m. Everything is a duplicate, right? So you can make the data entry case insensitive. Your problem, not developer's problem. You will ask him to do whatever you want. You will say, just make the search case insensitive. He makes a search for IBM. Even if small I, small b, small m is in the database, it should pop up. So you have taken care of the problem in one way. That's okay. This is just one half of the problem solved. I'm sure you guys are realizing there are other problems there. Right? In this country, the name of the company is unique and it is not case sensitive. Right? So that is where it is coming from. This rule is pertinent to this discussion because in this country, the company database, you have to get the company register, right? So if you put e-commerce Inc., then E capital C capital does not matter. Right? But spaces do matter. And dots do matter. So there is a lot of problem which has not been solved, right? And sales rep, at the end of the day, they are devils. They are not humans. They are devils. They enter junk data. It is their hobby. They like it, and you have to get into their process. You have to analyze them. You have to understand why they do what they do. You make deduplication rules. It's a cat and mouse. It's like a cat and mouse thing. You make deduplication rules. They'll find a way to enter duplicates. Trust me, they will find a way to enter duplicates. I have seen reps talking like this. You know what? I was not able to enter the record, but I found a way. I teach you. Yeah. You know what? They go to other. You will not be knowing because you are a very like a gullible BA who made simple design in this screen. But then there are other pick applets where new button is enabled by mistake. They'll go there and enter the data. They do that. They find that. They are very smart people. They go around, look in the house, कहाँ पे चूहों की तरह देखते हैं कि कहाँ पे होल्स हैं, वहाँ पे जाके छुपते हैं और वहाँ से वो रास्ते निकालते हैं. ट्रस्ट मी, that is their mentality. That is the way they work and function. And you are at their mercy. You have to design the rules to make the